This is the Sportneer XL cold weather sleeping bag. So right off the bat, let's weigh it. £6, 14 ounces. It is a big sleeping bag. It is a heavy sleeping bag. Just to compare sizes. Alright, the Sportneer's in the middle. This is some other $40 sleeping bag, some other $30 sleeping bag. It is bigger. And it's about, this is 2 pounds heavier than that, and 3 pounds heavier than this. But hey, it's XL, and as long as weight is not an issue, I mean, I wouldn't take it on a long backpacking trip. But if you're car camping, then the heavier it is, the more fill it's got, better chance it's going to actually keep you warm. Some of these sleeping bags have really low temperature ratings, but they haven't been verified by a third party that they actually go that cold. So the manufacturer can just kind of say whatever they want, and then they don't weigh very much, and they're really compact. And it's like, I don't know if it's really going to keep you warm. But this one is heavy enough that I actually believe it. Now, this, okay, so the listing said that the fabric was cloud-like against your skin, and I laughed because that's a silly thing to say. This fabric is cloud-like against your skin. It is the softest velvety. I've never seen a sleeping bag with this soft velvety material. That's amazing. Let's spread it out. All right, there it is. Let's have a look at this zipper. So there's a Velcro. It's a nice touch. They've got the soft side of the Velcro here as well, just so the plasticky side isn't against your skin in the night if you've got this open. Nice accessory cord pull on the zipper. Alright, let's see how the zipper does. Usually they'll jam if they're cheap. They'll jam if you go fast. I got a jam a little bit. I got to jam pretty good actually. Yeah, I got the canvas guard that's supposed to protect you from jams. Alright, well, don't go racing with the zipper. I was gonna say, it's actually pretty forgiving. This draft tube is usually what gets jammed up, and if you pull it out, it will jam it up, but it doesn't eat the draft tube and get so stuck that you gotta sit there and fiddle with it. Of course, I went really fast a minute ago, and it ate the little bit of canvas lining. That was a little less forgiving, but I mean, not bad. The zipper also has this kind of flip around design, so you can pull it from the inside or the outside. That's cool. Alright, let's check out the hood. The theme here seems to be luxury over performance, stuff like weight and portability. So the hood, I don't know, the hood in a sleeping bag is kind of a performance thing. You cinch it down and it keeps you nice and warm. This thing is huge. It's a little ridiculous to think about cinching down this 3-foot wide hood. And the hood is detachable, which maybe makes more sense to just pull it off. Because, okay, to operate it, it's not totally simple. The fact that it detaches means that you can't have a single drawstring that goes all the way around because it detaches at that point, which would be the middle of the drawstring. So there's two drawstrings, one that sort of starts and ends here. So this, you'd think normally with the drawstring you grab it and you pull, but one end of this is just anchored into the bag. So to pull this, you got to pull on one side, and then I don't know, work the toggle around maybe. I guess maybe just pull this side through the toggle, and that will cinch up the top of the hood. And then there's another drawstring here, and this one you can pull like a regular drawstring, and both sides pull. One side goes across the front of the sleeping bag, and the other side goes across the back. I think with the idea being when the hood is detached, you might want to cinch down the whole opening so you don't have this big 3-foot opening losing heat. But you also don't want to cinch this down back here to the point that you're creating like bunched up fabric over here. So I think the trick is to just pull like one side of this drawstring once you get it tightened down, being the front side. And with those things together, it's like, yeah, you can kind of get a hood cinched down. So anyway, luxury. The theme is luxury here. I don't know. The hood is really not, I think, meant to do this. It's just so wide. I mean, there's just no practical way to take this 3-foot opening and take all that fabric and with a simple drawstring cinch it down into something that's not going to lose heat. So that's not what this sleeping bag is about. This sleeping bag is about spreading out and your feet not getting claustrophobic because it's huge. Let's compare it to some regular sleeping bags just to get a sense for how much bigger it is. Alright, the red one is just a standard big box store $40 sleeping bag. You can see it has 4 or 5 inches all the way around. Not to mention that the red one doesn't have a hood, and the Sportneer does. And here it is compared to this off-brand mummy bag. Just look at the extra margin there. It averages out to about a foot of extra width all the way around. I have them like perfectly lined up on this edge. The black one is actually the same length as the Sportneer, but it is just so much wider. There's some extras here. They put a lot of thought into rolling this thing up, and that can be a real pain point. And I think with a bag this size, it can especially be a pain point. So they have put toggles all around that go into these loops. So to keep it folded in half, you know, as you roll it, like it starts to sort of walk on you. Well, it's got toggles here, here in the middle, and another one here at the top that clip together, and then you roll from that side to this side. And at this side, it doesn't have some dinky little string or elastic strap that's going to wear out. It's got actual straps with buckles, so you can actually cinch down on it. So that's fantastic. I wish all sleeping bags did that. And a couple loops if you want to hang it. Important detail there. 100% polyester, so no cotton, which is good. Alright, there it is all rolled back up. That worked out great. I folded it into thirds instead of half just because I'm going to try to get it into the compression sack and see how small I can make it. And especially with sleeping bags that have, I believe this is a polyester batting as opposed to loose fill, they tend to get all super lumpy if you roll them up into a narrow cylinder and then crush it. So if you fold it into thirds, you get a more kind of stout, shorter, fatter cylinder that still just barely fits in the compression sack, and then crush something that's already about the size that it's going to be. At least I've had that work out a little better. I was going to say, I forgot to show off, there's a pocket for devices inside the sleeping bag that's nicely placed and has Velcro to Velcro it shut. Alright, let's get this back in the bag. I'm 6'2", and as I lay in it, I have about 6 inches of headroom to the top of the hood. So, in theory, you could be 6'8", and I believe this would still be big enough. Oh yeah, it's not going to go much more than that. There's a lot of material. I have to say, these clips don't seem overbuilt to me. They're just big enough. I wouldn't abuse those too much, just for fear of overstressing them. Okay, I think that's about what it's going to be. That compresses down to a 11 by 11 by 13. So kind of a 12 by 12 by 12 cube. So not bad on the compression sack. So now with that squished down, compare again to this kind of standard bag that does not have a compression sack, and yeah, not bad. It does compress down despite how much material and how much weight is there. So that's the Sportneer very much XL cold weather sleeping bag.